Hello, welcome back to the Chelsea debate. We're going to do a player review. This week we're going to do Mason Mount, Josh. What a place to start. I think what we're going to do, each player, we're going to give a rating at the end out of 10. I'm just going to talk about him a bit. So, what a season for him. He won our player of the year, and what a place to start. He was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, real breakout year for him, wasn't it? Not just in terms of stats, but, he won Chelsea's player of the year, which when you look at the squad that we've actually got, I think that really highlights just how good he's been, not just under Lampard, but also under Tuchel.
Yeah, so you say breakout year. That was arguably the year before, but this is the one. Do you mean
No,
what
I think,
the year when he really established himself as a
yeah,
player?
I
Yeah,
think, the year before, I think he looked good in patches, but he looked like he got a lot of growth to do type thing.
yeah, yeah.
This season, for me, he's turned into really the complete player. And I know that's like a big, bold statement to make, but that's how really is how I feel on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's 22. He's developed so much. I think you make a good point there. All the players, all the money that we spent, all these players in there, and he's winning the Player of the Year. That says a lot, doesn't it?
Mm.
How much he's loved by the players and the fans. He's so integral. If we look at a couple of his key moments, the ones that stand out for me, Champions League, 2 goals that really stand out. One against Porto, one against Real Madrid. Of course, we know what happened from there, but without him, arguably we don't get through. Like 2 really key goals, and it's great to see him perform on that stage, isn't it?
Definitely. And also, don't forget the assist in the final. That was a great ball. And I know Havertz, rightly so, got the plaudits. But that really was a brilliant assist from Mason Mount. And again, that sort of a pass shows vision and technique that, you don't get every 22-year-old having that sort of vision and technique.
Yeah,
So that really does just sort of, it's just a great example of what we're talking about here, how much he's come on. In fact, in reference to your point, I don't think he'd have passed that, he'd have done that ball 12 months ago.
yeah.
He wouldn't have done it. He's come on leaps and bounds, he really has.
What are his numbers for the season?
54 total games, 9 goals, 9 assists, with 6 yellow cards and no sendings off, which again is brilliant.
I mean, they're decent numbers. Obviously, I think if you score in the Champions League a couple of goals, it's maybe worth a bit more there. And stats aren't everything. We get so caught up on it. Also, I'm also not saying that they're not important because they are.
No,
It's
they are important, but
balance. And, I'm just
well,
thinking of the position that he's played. Sometimes he's played further forward under Tuchel, and then sometimes we've seen him drop deeper. In a 3-4-3, he can play, deeper in that central midfield role. He can play in an 8 role. He can play further forward. It's that versatility, and those stats, I think, if he's going to play further forward next season under Tuchel, in that same area, I think they'll only go up those numbers.
definitely. I mean, earlier on in the season, we were talking about what a player, the effort, the touches, everything's brilliant. But we were sort of questioning the one thing he missing was sort of being that, that clinical cutting edge with his finishing. And, as you're talking about 2 goals in the Champions League, he scored a couple in the Premier League as well. And they all came towards the sort of back end of the season, didn't they? So I think, it's just a great launching pad for him to next season. You'd be a brave man to bet against him getting double figures for goals and assists next season, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I could see that. We give credit to Lampard because it wasn't just, the first 6 months, it was that 18-month period.
No, definitely. Yeah, you've got to give credit.
Plus what happened under Derby. He's elevated his game to a new level now under Tuchel, and it's just a brilliant season. I mean, there's not that much more we can say because he's been lauded all season.
Sorry, I should have said it then. Going back to, his assists, I think what people haven't talked about enough is the fact that he got the second most creative chances in the league.
Yeah.
So if you think how many times have we sat on these videos and talked about, Timo missing chances and, we could have had a hatful, but instead we've won a game 1-0 or 2-1 or, whatever the score may be. If the whole team had been more clinical with Mason Mount creating that level of chances, he could have been well in, 15, 20 assists this season, couldn't he?
Yeah.
So you've got to look at the players around him as well in terms of, some players get accused of stat padding. You could argue his stats are actually the other way, they've been negatively affected by it.
Yeah, and if we've got that prolific striker, whether that be, Timo improves or there's a lot of reports at the minute around Haaland. Not going to get started now. We'll sort of see, what happens. But yeah, I think you're right there. Those numbers maybe don't quite tell the full story. think we'll wrap it up. What do you think in terms of him at England as well, going into the summer? What do you think? As crucial for England?
Yeah, definitely. I genuinely believe the likes of him, Foden, Kane, Grealish as well, to be fair, he's looked good in the warm-up games. I think if those sort of 4 players perform to how we know they can, how we've seen they can, I think, we could be looking at a good, strong run, maybe even a final or even winning. That's how crucial I believe those 4 are, and obviously Mason Mount's a massive, massive part of that.
Yeah, excited to see how he does. He's come on so much this year. Both going to do a rating out of 10, and we'll sort of, track it. We're going to do each player, I think, pretty much. Played a certain amount of games. We'll do it over the summer because obviously there's no club football, but we'll keep bringing Chelsea content. So I'm going to go on Mason Mount. I'm going to go 9.5. I mean, maybe I should have gone 10, but 9.5 has been our best player, I think. And yeah, I'm happy with that rating. What about you?
I'd go 9.
Okay.
Purely because, as we said, although I've just sort of argued the point, I stand by it about his stats could have been negatively affected. We've arguably been spoilt with midfielders over the years when you look at the likes of Frank and stuff. So if he'd have gone into double figures, I know he was close on goals and assists, I would have given him a 10. But just at times in the season, to say a 10 out of 10, it's literally a perfect season, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have talked about a few missed chances and stuff like that. So maybe I'm being harsh, but I will go 9.
I think that's fine. And it'll be interesting to see. I think we're going to do Kai Havertz next, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll see how we do on that. That leads me on. I just want to say on the Twitter, there was a tweet that went out about Kai Havertz that absolutely went mad. A lot of people talking about it. So hopefully, it'll be interesting to see what we do basically on that rating for him. And our Twitter just hit 5K. So massive thank you for all the support. It means a lot on there. And it's coming up to a year now on the Twitter. And it's just amazing having all the Chelsea fans on there. So go and check that out if you're new. It's at Chelsea_debate. And on Instagram we are as well, _Chelsea_debate. Like and subscribe if you're new. And that was our Mason Mount video. See you later, guys.
Bye.